Inside every lithium-ion battery is just 2 meters of metal foil coated in black paste, rolled into a 45-gram cylinder. Simple materials that power everything from the phone you're watching this on to satellites orbiting Earth. But when it fails, all that energy gets released the wrong way. Every week, a lithium battery catches fire on an airplane somewhere in the world. Yet we manufacture 50 million of them every single day. How do we mass produce controlled chemical reactions? And why, after 50 years of development, are we still using what's essentially rolled up foil? But let's rewind to 1973. Oil prices shot up to $11 a barrel, and gas stations ran dry. Exxon tried something bold. Instead of drilling deeper, they funded battery research. Scientist Stanley Whittingham built a lithium metal battery paired with titanium disulfide. It produced 2.4 volts, more powerful than any rechargeable battery of its day. The idea was brilliant, but there was a catch. Lithium grew dangerous spikes called dendrites, capable of piercing the battery and causing fires. His design was powerful, but far too risky. A few years later, in 1980, another scientist, John Goodenough, improved the idea. Instead of Whittingham's material, he used lithium cobalt oxide, which could hold lithium inside it. This doubled the voltage to 4 volts, unlocking far more energy. It was a massive leap forward. But there was a twist. Oxford chose not to patent it. Goodenough essentially signed away his rights, meaning he didn't make money from what would become a world-changing invention. In the mid-1980s, a Japanese chemist named Akira Yoshino cracked the safety issue. He swapped lithium metal for graphite, a stable carbon that let lithium move smoothly without forming dangerous spikes. By 1991, Sony launched the first lithium-ion battery in their Handycam video recorders. It cost nearly $1,000, but it sparked a revolution, from cameras to laptops, phones, and eventually electric cars. What began as a risky energy experiment in the 70s became the foundation of modern portable power. At their core, batteries are nothing more than controlled electron traffic. Electrons want to move from one material to another, and when we let them flow through wire, we get electricity. Old chemistries like zinc and water-based batteries hit the ceiling at about 1.23 volts, limited by the chemistry of water. But lithium changed the game. It's the smallest atom on the periodic table of metals, and it packs the biggest punch. Suddenly, batteries could leap past that voltage ceiling and store far more energy in the same space. When you charge a lithium-ion battery, the tiny lithium ions tuck themselves neatly into layers of graphite, like cars pulling into spaces in a parking garage. When you use the battery, they leave their spots and travel back across to the cathode. This back and forth can happen thousands of times without damage, but only if the system is incredibly efficient. Here's the catch. Lose just 1% of ions per cycle, and your battery would be dead in 100 charges. That's only a few months of use. Modern lithium-ion batteries achieve about 99.9% efficiency. That tiny difference is why your phone lasts years instead of weeks. The secret to this efficiency is something almost magical, the SEI layer, or solid electrolyte interface. It's a fragile, invisible coating that forms on the anode the first time a battery is charged. On paper, it shouldn't even exist. Yet it protects the graphite and keeps lithium flowing safely. You might wonder, is it really as good as it sounds? Well, kind of. You lose about 5% of the battery's capacity forever. Even then, you get a battery that can last 10 years or more. Without this miracle layer, lithium-ion batteries wouldn't power our modern world. It all begins in what looks like a chemical kitchen. Industrial mixers stir up a thick, black paste, the paint that becomes your battery's electrodes. Each barrel is worth nearly $10,000. And the recipe? Precious active materials, sticky binders, and solvents so toxic that workers need full hazmat suits in order to do their jobs. Similar to its worth, the scale is staggering. One factory alone makes over 20 tons of slurry every single day. Next, the slurry is spread onto long rolls of metal foil, forming the anode and cathode. The coating must be just 100 microns thick, thinner than a human hair. Lasers scan the surface in real time because a single speck of dust could mean a short circuit and a fire accident months later. At Tesla's Nevada Gigafactory, the machines coat enough foil every day to wrap the Statue of Liberty 50 times over. Imagine that! Once coated, the foil is pressed under 2,000 psi rollers, cut with lasers while vacuums suck away every particle, and finally wound into the famous jelly roll. 2 meters of foil collapse into an 18-millimeter cylinder in just 0.3 seconds. Each machine can produce nearly 3 batteries every second. That means from the moment you wake up to finish brushing your teeth, they'd have already made hundreds of batteries. Multiply that, and you get over 250,000 per day. Now we come to the most delicate stage, the dry room. Workers suit up head to toe, passing through airlock entries into a space drier than the Sahara Desert. Humidity here is below 1%. Why so dry? Because a single droplet of water can ruin 10,000 batteries in an instant. Finally, the cells are filled with electrolyte and placed into racks for their first charge, a slow 72-hour process that forms the protective SEI layer. It only happens once for every battery. In a sense, it loses its virginity during this step. Even with near-perfect engineering, lithium-ion batteries carry a hidden danger. Inside the cell, tiny crystals of lithium metal can begin to grow, like frost creeping across your window on a cold, snowy night. They're called dendrites, and they grow about 1 millimeter every 100 cycles. At first, they're harmless, until one finally pierces the separator, and then short circuit in 3, 2, 1. When that happens, the battery enters a deadly chain reaction called thermal runaway. At 80 degrees Celsius, the protective SEI layer breaks down. At 130 degrees, the separator melts and the electrodes touch. At 200 degrees, the cathode begins releasing oxygen. That oxygen feeds the fire, and in a split second, the battery erupts. Temperatures can hit 1,000 degrees Celsius in just 0.2 seconds. The odds of this happening are tiny, about 1 in 10 million cells. But with factories producing over 50 million batteries every single day, failures are inevitable. Since you started watching this video, factories have already produced over 500 lithium-ion batteries. Back in 1991, the cost of this technology was a staggering $9,000 per kilowatt hour. Today, it's fallen below $100, cheaper and more powerful than ever before. But the question is, at what cost? To extract just 1 ton of lithium, miners pump out more than 750,000 gallons of water, straining fragile ecosystems. Over 70% of the world's cobalt comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo, much of it mined by hand under dangerous conditions. And while 95% of battery materials are technically recoverable, only 5% are actually recycled today. By 2030, global demand will skyrocket, requiring over 17 million tons of battery materials every year. The battery revolution powers our world, but it also reshapes the planet. After 50 years and 3 Nobel Prizes, we're still using rolled-up metal foil. Every second, 500 new batteries roll off assembly lines worldwide. The lithium-ion battery already changed the world, and the next breakthrough might just save it.